Clavicular just walked into court, and this may be the biggest turning point of his career. After his firearm charge finally caught up to him, Clavicular is now facing 6 months probation, plus community service that he can't even stream. But the real question is, can he survive probation without getting in trouble again? This is Internet Chaos Report. Remember to like and subscribe because we are posting videos like this every single day. Now let's get into it.
Braden Peters, known to followers online as Clavicular, walking into a Miami-Dade courtroom earlier today. Both men got 6 months probation and must now complete 20 hours of community service into Firearm Wildlife Safety Court.
Ladies and gentlemen, today you are bearing witness to a historic event. Something that I'm almost positive has never happened, and I'm nearly as positive will never happen again. So sit back, soak it all in, and remember that it was your friend August who brought you this news only like 2 days late. You're welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, it happens. For the first time, I think, in influencer history, we are having to see the year's top dog influencer pay for their stupidity. I don't think this has ever happened before. Clavicular, aka Braden Peters, has officially caught a charge. It happened, and honestly, I think that this is the beginning of the end. I do not foresee Clavicular making it through the next 6 months. Okay, that's...
I think that he's gonna be fine.
Sounds kind of grim. I don't mean that, like, physically. I mean legally. If you've been keeping up with the Clavicular timeline, which if you're an August the Duck subscriber, you've kind of been forced to, you would know that earlier this month he was charged with a misdemeanor of discharging a firearm in public. After earlier this year, he shot a dead alligator a bunch of times while...
I don't think he did anything wrong in shooting the alligator, to be honest. I think that was just funny content. But, oh my goodness, he shot a fake fucking dead alligator. Ooh.
On like an airboat tour. And in the video that I made on him getting...
That's just doing bro shit, you know what I'm saying?
Formally charged for doing this, I said that I strongly believe how this goes down in court is going to be like a huge turning point for this guy's career. And I still believe that to be true because Clavicular pleaded a no contest to this charge. And because of that, he avoided jail time, but he was given 6 months probation. He has to complete 20 hours of community service, which he cannot stream, and he also has to take some safety courses. And honestly, just from the...
I've done that before in court, pleaded no contest instead of, like, guilty, you know? It just feels better.
Character this guy has proven himself to have, I don't think he can last 6 months on probation. I don't think there's a snowball's chance in hell. I just don't think that there's a single chance that this guy makes it another 6 months without fucking up again. This year alone, which I will note we are not even 6 months into yet, this guy's been arrested twice already, I'm pretty sure, and he's done multiple illegal things on stream. This guy's fucked. All of his favorite activities are illegal, and he streams every moment of his life. I feel like he's also...
That's true. I mean, he can't be doing drugs on stream anymore or anything. And also, most of the time when you're on probation, you can't go into, like, any clubs or any places like that. So his streaming's going to be a lot different than what it is now. I will say that. I mean, he hasn't been doing drugs for the last 2 weeks or maybe more. So maybe he'll be able to do it. But he won't be able to go into clubs anymore.
Proven himself to not really have all that much impulse control. It's gonna be a rough 6 months for him. Like I said, he also cannot stream his community service, which might be the hardest part of this for him to stomach.
Wait, he can't... Oh, he can't stream his community service? Okay. That's fine. I think that seems like a normal thing that they would do, to be honest. I don't know. I don't know what they do with live streamers, though, because it's kind of a new thing, you know? But it does seem pretty rational.
Well, actually, it's probably the second hardest thing for him to stomach right after the fact that he got fucking mogged by the judge that sentenced him. Yes, I mean, this genuinely might be the funniest thing that's happened during this
the judge does kind of mog, to be honest.
Whole, like, Clavicular timeline. I'm pretty sure they got the most conventionally attractive judge in the country, specifically for Clavicular. I wouldn't even be surprised if this guy isn't a real judge. But, like, seriously, we are living in the dumbest fucking timeline imaginable. News articles are being written about this. But
brutally frame mogged.
Quick look at the courtroom footage. There's not a whole lot of it. I wasn't able to find like a full uncut clip of it, so it's going to be kind of pieced together. But we've all made it this far into the Clavicular timeline, so I think we've all earned the right to watch him finally have to deal with just one consequence of his many shitty actions.
Please subscribe. Please state your name and date of birth for the record.
Braden Peters, 12/17/2005.
Are you under the influence of anything right now?
No, Your Honor.
Have you spoken to your attorney about this case?
That's so crazy. 2005. That's the same age as my little brother. Oh, that's weird.
Are you satisfied with the representation that Mr. Nyman has provided to you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you are charged with one count of unlawful discharge of a firearm. I understand you will be entering a plea of no contest to that charge upon the conditions laid out on the record. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Both men got 6 months probation and must now complete 20 hours of community service into Firearm Wildlife Safety Court.
So I don't know about you guys, but at least to me personally, I feel like it's sort of a bad omen that he couldn't even resist the urge to wave at the camera like 3 seconds after he got sentenced. To me, that just seems like he's not really going to end up taking this all that seriously. And
What do you mean? Waving at the camera isn't that bad of a thing. I think it'd be pretty normal for someone who's used to being on a camera, you know?
I mean, that's what I expect to happen. It seems like this guy feels like he's invincible, and I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense why that might be. I mean, if my memory serves me correctly, I'm pretty sure this is really the first time he's ever had to answer for anything he's done. And this guy's been having constant run-ins with the law for the last year. I mean, he ran over somebody on video.
Yeah, but if you saw the video of him running that person over, Clavicular was definitely in the right to run that stupid fucker over.
I feel like once you scratch that one off your to-do list, you're probably going to end up feeling like the law does not apply to you like it does other people. And I think we've seen that in full effect over the last 6 months to a year. Anyways, like I mentioned in my original video talking about these charges, Clavicular was charged alongside 2 other people. Those 2 people being the Cuban Tarzan and Baby Alien, my favorite trio. And it seems like the Cuban Tarzan...
I don't know who the fuck Cuban Tarzan is, but Baby Alien is kind of funny. He's just a weird looking dude.
Tarzan got the same deal as Clavicular, but for some reason, Baby Alien was not in court. What the fuck are these sentences? I can't believe this is my job to say this shit. There's not a whole lot of information in the news articles about Baby Alien, but it doesn't seem like he just, didn't show up. I'm assuming his court date got moved or something. Overall, I have pretty mixed feelings about this outcome as a whole. I feel like even in a vacuum, this is a pretty lenient punishment for what happened. Like, if I heard about this happening to just some random guy and this is what he got, I'd be like, okay, he got
Shooting a dead alligator shouldn't be illegal.
off pretty easy, and I feel like that is amplified significantly when we're talking about it happening to Clavicular. Now, I'm not really saying that from
Although I live in Montana, where I could just go outside and start shooting my gun wherever the fuck I wanted to, and no one would really bat an eye in most places, you know? I guess if I did it here in my town, in the middle of town, people might be upset. But if I just left the city a mile out and just started shooting a gun, no one would give a fuck. It'd be
legal
completely
perspective, because none of the shit he's done really matters in this particular case. Like I said, this is the first time he's ever been fully charged with something. He actually got convicted. Just because he's a piece of shit online and we've watched him do illegal things, that doesn't really matter. Courts can really only punish proven conduct. If the case is about shooting the alligator, it has to be shit about shooting the alligator. They can't be like, all right, well, before we sentence this guy, let's watch a Clavicular clip compilation. But, the societal implications, the moral aspect of all this is obviously not nearly as black and white. And personally, I do see it as a little bit of a moral failing that if this guy adheres to the terms of his probation, in 6 months, the charge will be wiped off his record.
That's how the law works. I know a ton of people who have done way worse shit than shoot a fucking alligator, and their charges got wiped because they completed all of their shit, you know? So I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Obviously, he doesn't know a bunch of criminals, but like I do. But this guy's retarded.
I think that Clavicular doesn't really deserve that. Now look, don't get me wrong, I know that is pretty common when it comes to your first offense, but from a non-legal perspective,
Yeah, okay, he did say that he knows that it's pretty common. I was like, dude, is this guy retarded or something? Because I know people who've done, got caught selling drugs and shit like that, and then got their shit wiped because they completed everything. So, I don't know. crazy.
like a not very serious perspective, it just kind of feels crazy to call this Clavicular's first offense. Keep in mind that this guy is 20, and even with this one being closed out, he still has multiple other legal cases against him right now. I just personally feel like it's important, not only for Clavicular, but also for all the young, impressionable people that watch him, to learn that this shit is not sustainable, to learn that you don't want to live like this. Nobody on earth has ever been on their deathbed like, damn, I really fucking wish that I got a few more criminal convictions, and you know what? I wish I would have got sued more. Actually, you know what? While we're at it, if we're just rewriting history here, I should have thrown in a few more ODs. Like, nobody actually likes living like this. There's a reason that most people stop behaving like this once their brain fully develops. But a big distinction between most people who do shit like this and Clavicular, and this is a big reason as to why I think he's just not gonna last this 6 months, is because Clavicular has been able to ride his insane financial and legal support system through a whole lot of shit already. You know, most people who do shit like this get busted at 18 for something, and then they make one of two decisions. They're like, okay, I'm 18, I might ruin my life if I keep going down this path, let me chill out. Or they say fuck that, and then they ruin their life. Clavicular hasn't really had to make that decision because every time he does anything stupid, he just gets bailed out. I feel like he's just too deep into the whole I'm gonna do whatever I want whenever I want to do it mindset to survive a 6-month probational period. I do. I hope that he can. Like, seriously, I'd love to be proven wrong. You know, barring extreme circumstances, I'd rather see a guy who's a piece of shit turn his life around and be like a happy, normal dude who's living a good life, rather than watch them spend their one chance at life being a misogynistic piece of shit who brown noses
Misogynistic piece of shit. Shut the fuck up, dude.
the biggest losers on the planet in a desperate attempt to fit in for the first time in his life. Because honestly, I feel like that's what's happening with Clavicular. Maybe I'm just giving him too much credit, but I've had to watch a lot of this guy's content to make all the videos that I have on him. And I don't know, a lot of the times it just doesn't really seem like his heart is in it. I think he's desperately trying to put on a persona that he thinks people will think is cool. And that's not me feeling bad for him. That's not me giving him any sympathy whatsoever. He's still a piece of shit. You wear a mask long enough and it just becomes who you are. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I hope that he uses this opportunity as a chance to turn things around rather than just make them worse. This guy has for some reason been given like a fucking golden opportunity at life. He's making more money than a person could possibly ever know what to do with. He can do whatever he wants, yet he just chooses to monetize being a giant asshole and a giant piece of shit. Why that's so popular these days, I don't get it. Well, I guess I do. It's because that's what makes the money, but he's made the money. Why not just pivot? Well, guys, what are your thoughts? Like I said,
I think this guy's retarded. That's what my thoughts are. What the fuck? Being misogynistic isn't being a piece of shit. It's just being rational. So, anyways, thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe because we are posting videos like this every single day. Peace.